Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. So Rise of the Tomb Raider just got an update, and this one is really about making the game feel cleaner, smoother, and way less annoying in all the places where little problems were stacking up. The official patch notes point to fixes across performance, stability, gameplay, visuals, controls, quests, and even some engine side improvements. And honestly, that is the kind of patch a game like this really needs. You can have a great adventure, a strong campaign, and a ton of atmosphere, but if frame rate dips, keep showing up in the middle of exploration, or if a cutscene stutters right when the game is trying to sell you a dramatic moment, all of that good stuff gets dragged down. That is why a lot of the fixes here are focused on specific areas players were probably noticing right away, like the Siberian wilderness, geothermal valley, the baths of Kaitesh, the village map, and fast travel transitions. The update also targets performance drops when coming back into areas after story progression, plus extra cleanup during expeditions and remnant resistance. The cinematic side got a bunch of attention too, and that matters more than people sometimes realize. When a cutscene stutters, it breaks the flow in a way that is way more distracting than a normal gameplay hiccup. This patch fixes a frame rate drop during the new gun cinematic, performance issues at the end of the Siberian wilderness cutscene, problems after the return to camp and build a fire objective, and lag during the mud tunnel slide in flooded archives. There are also fixes for the observatory objective cutscene and a couple of performance drops during the Acropolis mission scene, so the game should feel more consistent from one set piece to the next. On top of that, there are some stability fixes that sound small until you run into them yourself. Multiplayer Endurance had a client-side crash when someone hit ready before the game cards finished loading, and Expedition Mode could lag badly at launch. Those are the kinds of issues that can make a session feel rough before it even really starts, so it is good to see them getting cleaned up. There is also a gameplay fix for the Holy Fire card, so nearby enemies now properly take fire damage after stealth eliminations, plus an XP exploit in Soviet installation has been closed off. A separate card issue that made the revolver and pump action shotgun appear early in the base camp menu has also been fixed. The visual work in this patch is honestly pretty extensive. There are fixes for disappearing environmental ropes in Baba Yaga, floating cabbages in the Acropolis, missing assets in the research base, wall textures vanishing in Soviet hub, Lara's satchel disappearing during crafting, an invisible white canister in Copper Mill, and invisible water textures in Prophet's Tomb. That is just the start. The notes also mention flickering ruined buildings, cloth clipping, a permanent light flare after checkpoint reloads, level of detail issues in Croft Manor, facial texture flickering on Lara's classic Angel of Darkness outfit, hair rendering artifacts, shadow flicker on Sophia, lighting issues on Constantine's face, and a bunch of rendering artifacts on doors, furniture, clothing, and paintings in Soviet installation. On the animation side, Trinity soldiers getting stuck in an A pose, a Tundra Wolf loop glitch, and a sequence issue in Kite Hub all got cleaned up too. The interface and controls got some love as well, which should make the whole experience feel less clunky. Armor-piercing arrows now show up correctly in the inventory. The N-mouse control scheme and right Joy-Con freeze has been fixed. Camera sensitivity and speed are more consistent. The mouse cursor no longer hangs around in blood ties. The auto-center camera toggle works properly. Subtitles are no longer duplicated. And the card shuffling issue on the cold darkness loading screen has been handled. These are the kinds of fixes that do not always sound exciting on a list, but in actual play, they are the difference between something feeling finished and something feeling just a little off. There is also some real quest and exploration cleanup here, which is where a lot of frustrating edge cases live. Flooded Archives had a soft lock tied to reloading a specific checkpoint. The Catacomb of Sacred Waters Challenge Tomb had out-of-bounds exploits. A damaged wall had missing collision layers. Camera clipping could push outside map boundaries. The House of the Afflicted Tomb got its proximity UI pop-ups and tracker icons restored, and the Hearty Meal objective had both beacon placement and progress calculation fixes. Reader's Tomb also got a few corrections, including an invisible wall that was blocking progression. That kind of stuff might not come up on every run, but when it does, it is the sort of thing that makes a player stop and say, wait, what just happened? And then there are the engine level improvements, which are easy to overlook, but probably matter a lot for the overall feel of the patch. The Spear added a per-level toggle for custom shadow parameter overrides, upgraded gyroscope system parameters, improved vibration motor initialization, ran optimization passes focused on Kite H Hub, Baba Yaga DLC maps, and Gulag rescue maps, improved frame rates in targeted areas, reduced memory leaks, and cleaned up visual assets across major locations. So this is not just a patch that trims a few bugs at the edges. It looks like a broader tuning pass meant to make the whole game behave better under the hood while smoothing out the roughest spots players would actually notice during normal play. So, yeah, this update feels like the kind of patch that quietly improves a game in all the places that matter. Less stutter, fewer crashes, better visuals, cleaner menus, fewer weird quest issues, and more stable performance in the places people spend the most time. It is the sort of patch that does not always get the loudest reaction at first, but once you start playing with it, you immediately feel the difference.